So I wanted to make a piece of artwork to decorate the title page of my bullet journal, and this sketch is one I made several weeks ago with the intention of having this be finished before August, and lo and behold, here we are, August 1st, the day that I decide to actually finish it so that I can use this section of my bullet journal without feeling that it's incomplete and that I am a absolute failure and procrastinator. You can't really tell in the video here, well maybe you can, slightly, it probably depends on your screen settings, but the pin that I'm using here is not a black pin, it's actually a brown felt tip pin, and don't ask me why I use this. I thought it would be kind of softer with this green that I used for the August lettering, that it would look nice, and it ends up just kind of looking black in the end. But I like to do line work like this where it's kind of an illustration style, more like the old-fashioned engraving style of illustrations here. So if you don't know who I am or what I do here, my name is Kendra Crae, and I'm a writer and an artist, and these two here that I'm drawing are characters from my first ever book, which is a Cinderella retelling called If the Slipper Fits. And granted, it's been a while since I've self-published it. It's been over 5 years. But if you want to know why these two have been on my mind so often, well, stay tuned. Maybe hit follow and see what's up. My patrons already know, but if you want to know why I've been thinking about them a lot, then maybe stick around and see what's going on. I originally wanted to do this in full color, but the paper in my journal here, I really would have needed to do it on a separate piece of paper and then paste it inside my bullet journal, which I might do in the future for things like this. But this paper, while it's a good quality paper, it doesn't really hold up to a lot of different art mediums. The marker here that I'm using is a dual-tipped water-based marker, which you don't want to layer it too heavy or press down too hard, because then it starts to really mar the paper. So what I ended up doing was using this green color to kind of use it for the shadows and the shading and for the grass that's behind them. Also, if you've read my book, you might actually recognize this as being a scene from my book. All in all, this only took me a couple of hours to do, but it was frustrating because the fine-tipped end of this pin kept wanting to die on me, and I kept having to kind of like let it rest and wait for it to kind of regain its momentum or its juice or whatever you want to call it. While I was drawing it, I wasn't sure how this was going to turn out with the two characters being basically upside down from each other, how this was going to come together as one picture, especially since I kind of drew the grass going the different opposite directions, almost like a playing card, really, like how the two figures are usually opposite each other for that. But it didn't end up turning out as badly as I was afraid that it would. I think sometimes when you're in the middle of drawing a picture, sometimes you can kind of get this moment of panic where it's like, oh, am I wasting my time? Did I just ruin it? But sometimes you surprise yourself once you get to the end and you see how it all comes together. While I love the look of this kind of cross-hatching style that looks like old Victorian engraved style illustrations, what's been frustrating for me in trying to do it is almost feeling like you're going to ruin it, adding what's basically black to things like the face or things that are supposed to be white or lighter colored, and to still get that shading and to be very fine. I know it's possible. I've seen other people do it, and you look at those illustrations from history and they're very skillfully done. But I really enjoyed this process because it kind of opened my eyes to like, okay, what if you used at least a different tone or different color to do the shading and illustrations, because then the cross-hatching doesn't feel as foreign or, you know, as intrusive on the painting or on the picture. So in the end, it turned out a lot better than I thought it was going to look. Let me know what you think of the end result.